W-2 employees versus 1099 contractors. We're breaking this down side by side so you can classify people correctly and avoid fines. First, how to classify a W-2 employee. Ask yourself 3 control questions: behavioral, financial, and relationship. First, we have behavioral. Do you tell them how to work, when to work, or where to work? Do you train them and supervise their process? If yes, that screams employee. Next, financial. Do you pay a regular wage, reimburse their expenses, or provide tools? Do you limit their profit or loss? If yes, that also sounds like an employee. And lastly, relationship. Is the work ongoing and core to your business? Does the worker get benefits? Do they follow an employee handbook? These also sound like employee qualifications. When you hire an employee, you're responsible for collecting a W-4 and I-9 at hire. You will also need to withhold and pay payroll taxes and file W-2 at the end of the year. You may also be required to carry workers' compensation insurance and follow minimum wage, overtime, and break rules. Employees come with pros and cons. For example, you can control their methods and product quality. You also get higher levels of stability and loyalty, coverage for sensitive roles and core operations, and it's easier to protect your IP and brand. Disadvantages include higher costs and more compliance with things like timekeeping. You're also responsible for payroll taxes, employee benefits, and more. Now, for how to classify a 1099 independent contractor. They run an independent business. They decide how the job gets done, they set their hours, and they use their own tools. They can hire helpers or work for multiple clients. And in the end, they invoice you. When hiring a freelancer, have them fill out a W-9 and sign a contract. And then you will typically need to issue them a 1099 at the end of the year. Quick decision rule. If you control the process and it's core to your business long-term, it's likely W-2. If they control the how and use their own tools, 1099 likely fits. So what happens if you misclassify a worker? Consequences can include back wages and overtime under FLSA, employer and employee payroll taxes, plus penalties and interest, workers' compensation and unemployment insurance exposure, benefits liability and ERISA issues, and civil penalties and audits by IRS, DOL, and state agencies. Bottom line, classify by control, independence, and whether the work is core. And lastly, if you're unsure how to classify a worker, you can always file IRS Form SS-8 for a determination.